What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Drain the Kitchen. So for the next couple of episodes, we're going to do a little bit of a series of keto low-carb meals. Now, I was challenged by a couple of my viewers to recreate a recipe from a service that they're currently subscribed to. They pay a certain amount of money, and they were like, can you do this and make it easier for us and make it less expensive? Challenge accepted. So what are we making today? The very first dish is going to be a grilled, well, I'm not going to grill it, but it's chicken with cream spinach. So I'm going to put my spin on it, on how I already tried this out, and I found a great combination and a beautiful way to make it delicious and look good, because the one complaint that we were hearing was that the meal, when they heated it up in the microwave, just kind of looked not appealing or appetizing, but the flavor profiles were delicious. So here we go. We're gonna make my version of chicken with cream spinach, so follow along and we're gonna get started. All right, so let's get started with the cream spinach portion. So, of course, my trusty induction cooktop, let's turn you on. Now, this is the easiest part of the dish. Actually, it's all easy. Watch how we do it from start to finish. So you're gonna heat up your pot. I chose this one, it's got high walls, good enough, because you'll notice that when we put all the spinach in here, which by the way, I changed it up a little bit. I'm using baby spinach and baby kale mix. And sometimes there's a little baby arugula stuck in there as well, because why not? Make it a little fun, make it exciting. So this is already heating up. I'm gonna use my ghee or clarified butter that I made here at home. I'm gonna add in about 2 tablespoons. That's literally all you need. To this, I chopped up my shallots. I just sliced them, nothing fancy. I didn't even do anything more to them. Put in some shallots. I'm gonna save the rest because I'm gonna use them for the next green beans. In go the shallots. As you can see, they're already starting to cook up. To this, I'm also gonna add some of my sliced garlic, just a little bit, because I love the garlic flavor. Again, I didn't mince them. I literally just sliced them paper thin, not very big. In they go. Put that to the side. All right, I lied to you. We may add just another little bit of clarified butter as our base. There we go. Smells absolutely amazing already. So to this, I'm gonna add a little bit of kosher salt, probably about a good, that's about half a teaspoon's worth. We are gonna add more pepper at the end, but I wanna toast it up to open up that pepper. So I'm just using my pepper mill, in it goes. We can add more later. And as you can see, the garlic is starting to brown. So this is gonna be a really fast process. About another 10 seconds while I open the package. It's pre-washed and ready to eat baby spinach and baby kale mix. This one, I had some baby arugula in my refrigerator, so I just kind of added it all together, because why not? So now this is the part where I tell everyone, trust the process, because you can put in, pretty much we're gonna fill up this entire pot or pan, and this is gonna wither down into nothingness. So I'm gonna save a little bit of this on the side. Using our tongs, just push it down a little bit. You don't need any water, you don't need anything. It's naturally gonna go ahead and reduce in size. We'll start turning it, and it's gonna wilt. That's why I tell everyone, a pound of spinach can turn into nothingness. So if you love spinach, make sure you have lots of it on hand. And if you can find these mixes with the kale, sometimes they have baby arugula blended in. It's absolutely delicious. See, look at this. It's already almost wilted. And then we'll get ready. Ooh, it doesn't want to stay in the pan today. As soon as it's completely wilted, which is about another, let's say 20 seconds away, we're going to go ahead and get started on adding the cream component for our cream spinach, or in my case, cream spinach and kale. There we go. fully wilted. Perfection. Let's just leave you in there. Now let's get started. We're going to add, because this is going to be for multiple servings, so we're going to go ahead and add in probably, oh, hold on. My refrigerator might have been a little too cold, so make sure you mix in your heavy cream. Say about 1/4 cup of cream. I need just a little more. This is going to end up being for 2 to 3 servings. I used organic heavy cream, so it doesn't have any extra preservatives in it. So you always want to make sure that you mix and shake up your heavy cream. Put that in here. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of creme fraiche, which is pretty much a French sour cream. If you have Greek yogurt, I did not bring my Greek yogurt, but Greek yogurt is part of the recipe. And at the end, I will show you what not only the price is, but I'll put the nutritional content. I have a program that will help me. Doesn't that look amazing already? Now, let's spice it up a little bit. Let me show you this gorgeous blend that I put together earlier. So, the subscription service uses garam masala, so I created sort of my own. I put ginger, coriander, I put espelette pepper in here, cayenne pepper, a dash of nutmeg, clove, oregano, garlic, and onion powders. And we're just gonna flavor this cream spinach. Look at how beautiful, and a little turmeric for the color. See the color? How beautiful is that? And this should give it a delightful, the aroma already is intoxicating. Look at how delicious that is. So of course, you know, I always say, taste your food. So I have a trusty spoon handy, let's taste. Guess what? It needs absolutely nothing, it is done. Perfect. Turn you off. So, first component of our dish, our cream spinach, is done. All right, now let's move on to the next component, which is going to be the chicken. So here I have, it was 1 massive breast that I went ahead and cleaned up, took a little bit of the fat out, took some of, the unpleasantries off, then sliced it. These are about 5 ounces each. I did have a scale and I did measure it out. One of them is like 5.2 ounces, but each fillet is about 5 ounces each. So to this, before I even turn on the pan, we're gonna season this with just kosher salt. I'm using Diamond Kosher. As you can see, we put a little bit of salt on there. I'll add some black pepper. And then we're gonna grill these. Not grill, we're gonna cook them in our pan, which I'm gonna heat up right now. And you'll see how quick and easy this is to make. To this, we're gonna use a little bit of clarified butter. This is 1 heaping tablespoon, and then a little for good measure. That is all you need. You don't need anything else. It will be absolutely perfect. So to my chicken, I'm adding a little bit of freshly ground black pepper. Now, the original recipe calls for a lot of Indian spices, beautiful warm spices. So what I did for the cream spinach, if you have a little bit of that left over, which in this case we do, I'm gonna take a little bit and add it to the chicken, because this is gonna tie all of those awesome flavors together. So this should be nice and hot. There's 3 fillets here. We're gonna put all 3 in, because this is gonna cook right well. I'll start with 2. Oh, we might be able to fit all 3, hang on. And this is great, because this is what meal prepping is all about. Now we're gonna take the leftover of that spice and season the other side of our chicken. Absolutely gorgeous. We're gonna let this cook about, I'd say 2.5 to 3 minutes per side, and then it is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook this for another 2 minutes before we turn it, and this will provide a beautiful browning and I'll see you when it's completely done. Take a look at how beautiful, 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 oh, this chicken came out. So I have a trusty plate here. Look at how luscious, beautifully browned, and just a little bit of that clarified butter. Now we're going to take them out of the pan. Look at gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. To the side. And while that cools, let's go ahead and make the final component to our dish, which is going to be our green beans. So I'm going to use whatever remnants of our chicken is left over. So we're going to add the remaining shallots. Remember, I saved some shallots on the side. I saved a little bit of our gorgeous garlic. Let's put that together. Just a tiny, tiny pinch of salt. Because remember, there's still seasoning and flavors from when we just made the chicken. So you don't want to over-salt it. So, word to the wise, because if you decide you want to flavor and layer your flavors, remember, there's already seasoning in your pan. So you don't need to add it. So now let's go grab the green beans that we have on the side. So these green beans were blanched, so I put them in boiling water for about 3 minutes, took them out, set them to the side so that they're a little bit pliable, nice and so you can bend. Let's put all of these in here. Put a handful there. I'll just make them all. Now I purposefully undercooked these, so when, I'm going to add that little bit of remaining water in there. So when you do this, they will store well, they will freeze well, so that they're not mush when you reheat them. So that's the trick. When you blanch them, blanching just means I put them in salted water. I put about 4 cups of water, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of salt, put them in there for about 3 minutes and took them out. So now, here we are with those beautiful, beautiful flavors of what was left over from the chicken. You have the shallots. Now this is optional. You can adjust this and make this whatever way you like. These are one of my absolute favorite ways. And then to top it all off, we have, take some fresh lemon. I squeezed it, and I'm gonna go ahead and add probably about a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. The acidity will brighten and bring all of these flavors together. So that is the whole point. You want flavor upon flavor upon flavor. You're building flavor. Just because you're eating healthy doesn't mean that it has to be bland. It can be absolutely delicious with minimal effort. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste one of these to see if the seasoning is on point. And of course, be careful when you do this at home. I'm so used to burning my tongue, it doesn't even matter. Delicious. You get the sweetness from the green bean, the acidity of the lemon juice, and I'm going to put a dot of salt, some freshly ground black pepper. I just turned the heat off because they're done. Absolutely beautiful. You can add as much pepper as little pepper. Sometimes I put red pepper flakes in mine just to wake it up a little bit. It's one of my favorite ways of eating green beans. There we go. All right, let's plate our dish together so you can see the final product. Y'all, it smells so good in my home right now. Take a look at how delightful this looks. This is equivalent to the meal that gets purchased. So let me bring the cost analysis because I did a breakdown and I'll provide it below in the comments. But the original cost of the prepackaged meals is $11.99. After I went through everything, broke the cost out, it came out to $6.41 per serving. That's because I wasn't stingy on some of the ingredients. I made sure everything was organic, everything followed similar to the recipe, but for $6.41, this is your meal, or it can be your meal. And the beautiful thing is that you can pre-package these. You can get all sorts of containers. I'll drop the link to the one that I use constantly. They freeze well, you can reheat them, but now comes the true taste, or the true test. Does it taste good? So let's go ahead while my children are quiet and taste the chicken. It's so good. It's juicy, not dry at all. That's why you want to make sure that you cook your chicken perfectly. Let's taste the creamed spinach. So on point. You taste a little bit of the Indian spices, or the Indian influence, I should say, into the warmth of the spices. So, rule of thumb, when you do make your chicken breast, because it literally has almost no fat, literally no fat, you want to just cook it till it's done and take it off the heat. The longer you leave it, the more it becomes tougher, and then it's like cutting into rubber. So be cautious of that. So, from my home to yours, this is the first in the series. It's our chicken with creamed spinach and asparagus on the side. And I hope you make this, enjoy it. When you do make it, make sure that you come back and comment. And of course, hit that bell notification. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. We're going to continue to do this in a series of additional, I can't wait for you to see what the next one is going to be. We're even going to include some snacks and some of my favorite keto low-carb meals, because healthy eating does not have to be a bad thing. Healthy eating can be an extraordinary thing, especially when you compile it and add the flavor profiles that are pleasing to your palate. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next episode of Journey in the Kitchen, and I hope you just enjoy as we continue the keto low carb journey. Bye everyone.